Hello everyone and welcome to another review. Today I'm going to go over a album I've been requested to do by Matthew Smith. He's got a great channel on YouTube, on my YouTube, so go and check that out. He's asked me to go over Electric Arguments by the Fireman. Now luckily I have got this on vinyl. It's one of the only later Paul McCartney albums I actually do have on vinyl, and here it is. So yeah, I will talk about the album, then show you the copy of the vinyl, because there's a lot in this, and then go over all the songs individually. So yeah, the album was released in November 2008. It was the third Fireman album. The previous two albums were Strawberry Ocean's Ships Forest, I think. I'm just trying to look it up now. Strawberry Ocean's Ships Forest, something like that. And what was in 1993, and Rush's what was in 1998. Both those albums were very experimental, very weird, and mostly like instrumental, like ambient music. This one is very different. Well, not very different, but it's the first Fireman album to feature vocals from Paul on it. It's also it's like much more poppy sort of sound to it than like the other Fireman albums. It was also the first time the Fireman was on the album charts in Britain. It charted at number 79 on the UK album charts as well, which doesn't very good, but it's a which knows like not very good for Paul McCartney, but it's decent enough for the Fireman. It's like rather this experiment album. It was released to critical acclaim. I think it was 5 stars, pretty much like all like the music press like loved it. Also another thing to note as well. This is the first. This album was also released on the label One Little Indian rather than McCartney's usual Here Music. I don't really know why, but it was released on like this other record company. So yeah, I think I've pretty much covered all I can about talking about the album. I mean, yeah. So I'll now show you the vinyl here. So it comes in this this sleeve. I got this off Amazon for my birthday actually. There's the back of it there. It comes in this sleeve here, which you can take out, and there because it's got the sticker like on the front, which basically just tells you what you get in it there, sort of reviews and that, and like what you get there, so you can read that if you want. But here's the actual album here. It's the front. There's the back. Yeah, like you notice that like the track listings are actually like the wrong way around. So like, when I'm actually like going over like the tracks, like when I'm going like that, that'll be why, because the track listings are the opposite way. Why I don't know, but it's just a Fireman. I mean, anything inside the gate. But this is what you get here. You get a picture of a big red lorry. Basically, is what you get with a bit of information at the top. So I'll show you the not sure if this is booklet here with it as well. This booklet, just flip through it for you. They're just of them doing the artwork for the album and that. A lot of cool stuff there. To get the booklet with it, you also get the CD as well, which I was actually quite surprised about. I mean, they actually do give you the CD. Mine isn't in the greatest shape because I lended it to one of my friends, and like because it's not very sturdy packaging. And the actual CD, it's just is like the whole album all the way through, just on this white label thing. Yeah, but I do like how like they give you the CD because I listen to my music a lot, like on like my iPod. So most of the time, like when I buy like an album, I would usually get the vinyl and the CD anyway. But it's nice that like they provided it. And here's the sleeve here. There's a Fireman on it. And the records are brilliant. These are 200 gram vinyls. There's size 1. There's a double vinyl as well. And there's just some random design on side 2. But yeah, I really do like the design. They've done a good job for this album, I think. No, I don't get it there. I'll just chop it up there, over there. And the second vinyl looks like this. There's electric arguments at the top. Electric arguments there. And here's the vinyl. So for me, this album is it's got kind of 2 distinct sort of like sides of that. Like the first vinyl is like kind of like what you would expect from like a McCartney record, but the second side is more in like the direction of the Fireman's previous material. So I just put them over there so I can hold this up and it's a bit lighter. So I will now go over all of the tracks, and there are quite a lot of tracks this album here, this double album. And it opens up with a song, Nothing Too Much Just Out of Sight, which is a fantastic rocker. It's he's a brilliant voice in that song. That is probably like helter skelter screaming vocal on it. Really great. Also, that track has also been remixed, or like he's collaborated with a group called the Bloody Beetroots, and they've remixed it, done whatever, and I can kind of prefer their version. I mean, I know this one's very good, but I kind of prefer like their single or whatever it is on it. Like it's on YouTube, you can look it up if you want. And so that's a really screaming rocking opener to the album, and then the next song is pretty much the complete like opposite. It's a song called Two Magpies, which is a acoustic track. It's nothing too much, just like a little ditty thing, but it works well after the sort of screaming angry track. There's nothing too much outside. This sort of nice acoustic song works well. Then we get track 3, which is Sing the Changes, which was the single. It wasn't that much of a hit, I don't think, but it is on Good Evening New York City, so he performed it live, and it was in his live set for like a long time. I suppose like it's well known amongst McCartney fans, I'd say. And that song, I really do quite like it. Most people would prefer the live version, but I prefer this album version actually. And the lyrics and that on it, they're okay. I mean, because also like, the other thing what I forgot to mention was all these tracks were recorded in like one day. Like each song like only took a day to make, which is pretty remarkable. Like considering like especially some like more like experimental stuff on it is like it sounds like it took weeks to make, but like no, like they recorded each song like just in like one day, and like most of them just made up like on the spot. So that one, Sing the Changes, does sound like it was made up like on the spot. But if you do bear that in mind, it is a pretty good song. But if you don't know that previously, you think, well, what's it on about? These lyrics are pretty rubbish. But yeah, it's a good one. I've maybe overheard it slightly, and then that sieges into Travelling Light, which is a I didn't like this one at first, but it has grown on me a lot because I love it. Like in the middle, it sort of changes and like goes somewhere else. It's sort of this slide guitar, and then like all the drums come in, and that is really good actually. It's Travelling Light, yeah, like another track for the album what I do love very much. And that is size 1 done. There's only 4 songs on the first side. And then we have Highway. I'm just gonna hold this down in like a bit of a hand. We have the song Highway, which is another rocker. Some great lyrics to that one, and yeah, just another brilliant track. What he does live actually. Yeah, he does it live, and I kind of prefer the live version, but this album version really does rock as well. So there's that one there. Maybe 4 minutes 15 seconds. It's maybe a little too long, but I can live with that though. It is. It's another brilliant track. It's another track for me, which is a highlight on the album for me. And then we have the song "Light from Your Lighthouse," which I really enjoy. I think he's playing mandolin on it or something like that. But I just love like his like effect like on his vocals and that, like he's singing like really low on it. It's like the track's been like slowed down a lot, and like I do really like that effect on it. So "Light from Your Lighthouse" is another favourite of mine. This side B or side 2 is like my favourite side of the album for me. So "Light from Your Lighthouse," another standard track, and then we get the song "Sun Is Shining," which is another track that blows me away. First time I heard it, I was absolutely blown away. It takes a while for like the whole song to kick in because there's a sort of acoustic guitar like introduction, but I don't mind that bit. I know some people sort of say, oh, I don't need that, it just drags on, but I like that bit though. And then yeah, like the actual song is brilliant. I mean, maybe the lyrics are a bit repetitive in places, but apart from that, it's just fantastic. And then it closes with the song "Dance Till We're High," which is probably my favourite one off the whole album. It's surprised it really wasn't a hit, to be honest with you. I mean, because if it released it like as a single, it would have done wonders like on like the charts, I think anyway. But it wasn't released as a single. Nothing was on this album actually, I don't think. And like yeah, it's just fantastic song. Sort of strings, very poppy sound like, and like that's probably the track what's most removed from the Fireman's other stuff. It's like it's the most where it's completely away from the experimental, weird, wacky stuff they've been doing before. Then we get onto the second vinyl, which is, for me, it's the more experimental side of the album, the more wacky side. It opens with the song "Lifelong Passion," which is probably my favourite one of all the experimental songs on the album. Yeah, just love it. I think it's a really good track. So that would be one of the ones that I would recommend check it out, like if you haven't heard it already, because it's a brilliant song. And then yeah, "This Is This Love." "This Is Love," Is This Love. I'm getting confused with the George Harrison song. 5:50, maybe a bit overstretched, I'd say. It's off, there's some sort of record I think on it. I'm not sure if it is a recorder or what, but it works well, and it maybe sounds a bit like the sort of like a yoga CD. I mean a bit, but it's very soothing music though. It's very relaxing, that song, I feel. So "This Is This Love," really nice calming song. And then have "Lovers in a Dream," which is complete opposite. It's very this is very experimental, very strange. Not probably for me the song I like least on the album. I won't say it's weak, but I'd say I maybe just don't enjoy it as much as "Lifelong Passion," because it's about a minute longer than "Lifelong Passion," and for me it's there's not that much happening in it. But no, it's still a good song, but not my favourite. And then onto the final side, there's only 2 songs, or 3 songs-ish. It opens with the song "Universal Here, Everlasting Now," and that's a very interesting track. It sort of starts off with this sort of piano thing, very haunting, but yeah, quite beautiful like, at the same time. This piano medley, and then like everything sort of kicks in, and it very interesting, like instrumental track, I think, because I believe it is as well. And yeah, another one what I wouldn't play many times. I wouldn't like play it like again like on repeat, like when something say Sun is Shining. I wouldn't like go mad like over it. But it's a good listen when you when like you listen to the whole album like as a whole. As is the final song, which is called "Don't Stop Running," which is 10 minutes and 30 seconds long. Another fantastic one. Like the actual like song "Don't Stop Running" is really cool. Yeah, I really like it. Like another sort of it's you can like tap your foot along to it. So that's another track what I would say that I enjoy. I won't say that I love it, won't go mad over it, but I can enjoy it for what it is, which is an experimental piece and just a sort of they're mucking about like in the studio. Paul and Youth, who was his collaborator on this album. Don't know if I mentioned that already. And then the reason why it is 10 minutes and 30 seconds long is because it is a hidden track, which I think I forget the title of the hidden track. I'm just on the website now. Road Trip it's called. That's just a sort of tape loops kind of thing, very avant-garde, very sort of reminds me a bit like Revolution 9, a bit just sort of very mad, very strange, freak out kind of song. But again, it's enjoyable though. That's the thing. This album is a very enjoyable album, and all the tracks are good. I'd say though, which is something which all the tracks are solid. Although something like the experimental stuff is maybe a little bit like overstretched, but is experimental though, so it's not they're not supposed to be like be like 3-4 minute snappy pop songs. They are sort of longer pieces, which I can appreciate Paul sort of being a bit out there and that like in like like on this album, like rather than just because I wouldn't like want like every album he's done to sound like say New, for instance. As much as I love New, I'm glad he goes in like different directions and that, and like has done stuff like this, has done stuff like Chaos and Creation. So out of 10, this album I would have to give a 9 out of 10. I was gonna say 10 because it has grown on me a lot, but I just say 9 because some of the experimental stuff is not my favourite McCartney songs, but I can enjoy them and appreciate them for what they are. So I'd say a 9 out of 10 for Electric Arguments by Fireman. Thank you for watching this video. If you would like to see like any other album reviewed, I will go over them. So I'll see you next time. Bye bye.